Greetings everyone, J.W. Oker here, and I'm in my study, about to bring you a new episode of Strange Stuff from my study. I thought, since we're closing out the week of Ray Bradbury for the Otis Halloween season blog, I would pull something from my collection that is both related to Ray Bradbury and Halloween. And it's on my wall back here behind me. Come on, I'll show it to you. So this is a simple sketch of a vague diamond-shaped object that I have lovingly and expensively framed on my wall. It's actually the work of an artist named Joe Mugnaini, who collaborated with Ray Bradbury frequently during his career. Bradbury discovered him at a gallery one day, saw a painting of an old spooky house, fell in love, recognized a kindred spirit, ran home, called Mugnaini up, bought the painting, and then said, let's collaborate. Which they did on stuff like the Halloween tree. Let's go see some Halloween tree. Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree came out in 1972. Over the decades, there's been quite a few editions of the book that were released, including this one from 1974. This one was 1981. This isn't an edition of the book. It's a VHS cassette of the animated film based on the book. It came out in 1993. This version of the book came out last year, 2015, and was put out with illustrations by Chris Grimley, the famous macabre artist. It's pretty fantastic. His illustrations are great. Let me show you my favorite one here of Carapace Clavicle Mound Shroud himself. Here we go. And there you go. Pretty amazing, huh? This book that I have has also been autographed and doodled in by the artist as well. There you go. But if you go to the bookstore, the edition you'll probably see is this one with the trick-or-treaters forming a skull image on the front of the book. This one came out in 2001 and is pretty much the most common one out today. It's the one I have read the most. It's kind of my Halloween tree cover. But none of these covers are by Joseph Mugnaini. Only the original edition came out with him. This is a library binding version of the original edition of the Halloween tree, and you can see his work is extremely recognizable. He's always very angular, very both intricate and simple at the same time. Somehow he strikes that balance, but very recognizable. But the thing about all these books from 2001, not Chris Grimley's edition, but all the other books, are that inside they all have Mugnaini's interior illustrations, from the masks that adorn the chapter pages to full page spreads, like that one, or single page spreads I should say. But over the years his art has just become just an inextricable part of the Halloween tree experience. There's one of the old house and the Halloween tree itself. So a big fan of Mugnaini's work because of his relationship with Ray Bradbury. So, I just gave you a tour of all the books. Let's get back to the wall. Alright, now with that backstory, you can see that this is a layout for one of the scenes in the book, the scenes where all the trick-or-treaters ripped the carnival posters off the side of the old barn and assembled them into a giant kite that they all kind of form the tail of and fly off into the night sky chasing after Pip's ghost. You can see, the eye details and the mouth details from the beasts that were on the carnival posters. Look down here, here's the witch right there. There's Tom Skelton himself holding on for dear life. And then beside it, as an alternate kind of layout, has the kite. This time has Mound Shroud. So I'm really jazzed to have a sketch of Mound Shroud by the artist himself. So I guess the obvious question is, how did this layout hold up for what it eventually became? Well, let's check it out. So depending on what edition you look at, some of the illustrations have been cropped. So I'm using the original library-bound book. Opening right up, my Frankenstein bookmark. Really need a cameraman. But as you can see, they held up. The basic layout pretty much stayed the same. You can see the kite, you can see at the bottom, you'll see the witch, and you can see Tom Skelton there. You can see kind of the details, the mouth and the eyes, which are both on this original sketch. And there again, another shot of the witch and Tom Skelton. So, matches up pretty well, considering this is obviously a first draft throwaway kind of sketch for Mugnaini, but pretty awesome. So that's what I have for you, a 50-year-old piece of scratch paper under glass on my wall. One of my favorite possessions represents my favorite author, my favorite season, one of my favorite books, a great artist, and just, yes, another strange thing from my study.